Bangs or no bangs? Bangs. We'll just go with this. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna go and forewarn you, this might get triggering. Hey, what's up you guys? So, wow, it's been a long time and I have done some things. Dyed my hair, moved to Atlanta, and I am drowning in life. To put it very, 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 very bluntly. Let's catch up. I mean, it's been like what? Like 2 years, maybe a year and a half. So two things kind of made me really want to, sorry if this radio is too loud, I just need something in the background. Just to go ahead and kind of forewarn you guys, I'm not super sure as to how often I'll be updating. I have really missed you guys, first off. I really miss doing this, just sitting down and having a conversation. I tried doing vlogging and it's fun, but like at the same time, like full-time college student, full-time job, it's really kind of hard to have fun, like engaging content. So just gonna go back to the root of what I loved doing and what you guys seem to really respond most to, which is just sitting down and having a conversation. And I mean, that's awesome. I love doing this. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's super therapeutic on my part. And if there's ever like anything that you guys want me to talk about in particular, just feel free to leave a comment down below. I will do my research if I need to, or I'll go back through some of my old journals and try and like rack my brain from experience as to how I felt about something, or something that I've experienced. But long story short, I think where we left off was the in denial about anorexia then and now. And I kind of like really racked my brain for that video, and I was just like, okay, so this is what's going on, this is how I was then now, this is how I was then, and this is how I am now. And that video was actually a lot harder to make than what I realized it was going to be. And at that point though in my life, I was doing great. I was a server at a restaurant. I was really involved in my drama team, and I was loving life. I was getting ready to go on a missions trip that summer, I believe, and I had graduated college, high school, and was just getting ready for, actually no, I graduated college and high school the year before. Sorry, I'm like mapping this out for me and the editing is gonna suck. Basically, you guys were requesting this video, and I wanted to catch up where we were leaving off. So where we left off was I was doing great, life was great, and then after my gap year, I decided to move to Atlanta. I want to do film and media. I would love to do things with theater, but just realistically, I need to have a backup plan, and I still want my backup plan to be in the field that I love and not just me teaching. Teaching is not my calling. Essentially, what has been going on since is Atlanta was great. I moved with my best friend and her boyfriend, and things were really good for a while, and then by a while also, I mean from August 1st, whenever we moved, until probably a month later, whenever college started, I was still looking for a job. I didn't have any connections to Atlanta. Checking my gas because my car is on right now and I'm on E. But I really need to make this video like now, because it's raw and I just need to talk about it. And anyways, so things were really, really great, and then my anxiety got so bad that I was literally not eating again. And I remember the first day of classes, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, stumbled into my closet, just grabbed the entire box of Cheerios that was in there for whatever reason, and crawled to the bathroom and just laid on the bathroom floor eating one Cheerio at a time and just sipping on some water and hugging the toilet, because I was just so like anxiety ridden. I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know why I was so anxious. I was still off of my medication at that point. Prior to that, I was taking Zoloft and I was doing well on it, but then I ran out while I was at Youth Quest. So, and Youth Quest is just like something that I do with my church. But it was a rocky start to Atlanta, and then things got really bad in my mind. Nothing that my friend really did. I mean, my friend and I were great. Like, we had a pretty good living situation. But just my mind, it does its thing, and it just magically makes it seem like everyone just doesn't like me, doesn't want to be around me, and makes me feel like a gigantic burden to everyone. Like everyone. Like I have felt like a burden to my therapist, I have felt like a burden to my doctor, and it's their job. I'm paying them to care about me, and I still feel like a burden. So it's just something that I really struggle with. And so long story short, because I know that y'all got a life, you don't want to sit here and watch like a 20-minute video on YouTube, but long story short, my feeling like a burden and just like sense of loneliness and isolation got to the point to where I just didn't care anymore. And I was also a nanny for a while, and my kids were teenagers, so they didn't really need me, and they would have been fine. I knew that the family would have been fine if I wasn't there anymore. I knew that my friend would eventually be okay if I wasn't there anymore. My dog was 9 years old, or she was almost 9 years old at that point. And I knew that Angel, which is one of my best friends, I knew that she would take care of her for me and give my dog the best life that was possible for her in her older age. So I came home on October 31st, and the lights were off, thought that nobody was home, and so I just went into my room and I laid in my closet, and I had been thinking about it for days prior to the 31st. And I mean, like, I already have suicidal ideation. I've really struggled with that for like 8 years, and I laid in my closet and was just thinking of ways to end it all. And I had found a couple bridges in Atlanta that seemed pretty enticing, but I did at the very least want some sort of way to be saved if anyone found me, I guess. And if I'd like were to jump from a bridge into the road, I mean, obviously at that point I'm roadkill unless like a cop or someone finds me before I do it. But so I laid in my closet and I saw the perfect way out, and I saw the right place to do it. I just needed to clear out a spot in my closet, and I said, okay, if you can just count to 100, you can do it. And so then I realized that I can count pretty quick, and I said, okay, we'll count backwards from 100, and if you can do that and you can get to 0, then you've earned it. Go for it, girl. It's been a good run. Essentially. I'm gonna turn this light on. Oh, I don't like that. But essentially it's been a good run. See it in the afterlife, and thankfully I don't know what number I got to, like maybe in the 70s, and I passed out. And I have no reason to this day as to why I passed out. Maybe it was just because I was like laying on the floor and also counting. But I passed out, and then I woke up to my mom calling me. I didn't tell her. My parents actually still don't know. My family doesn't really know that nobody knows that I got that bad under everyone's nose. Like, nobody knows that. So if you're seeing this now and you know me, I am okay right now, I promise. Shit's gonna get hard real quick real soon, but I have no intention whatsoever, and I don't even want to end my life anymore. It was at that point in my closet, whenever I woke up afterwards, I realized how valuable life is in that moment. And after that, I really started to just, I guess, enjoy life so much more. And let me see if this is a good way. And this is just shadows. I guess this is okay. Is this okay? It's gonna have to be okay. I'm actually kind of thankful for the fact that I got so close to actually killing myself and ending my life, because it made me so much more adventurous, and it gave me a hunger to do things that I would have never ever ever made myself do, like actually taking like wanting to go jump out of a plane, and like wanting to go and just see the world. Like, that was something that like I always wanted to do, but like it would have been okay if I didn't. But like, no, like Ari's gonna go see the world and she's gonna enjoy it. But essentially I got better after that, and started taking therapy a little bit more seriously. Obviously my therapist was really concerned. She was a little bit pissed off that I didn't call her in that moment, but I was like, well, look, what would have happened had I called you that night? She said, I would have gotten a taxi or something for you to go to the hospital. I was like, exactly, that's why I didn't call you. So just putting that out there, like, I'm not gonna call you if I feel like I'm gonna be sent to a hospital. And so she said, fair enough. And so we worked through it. I'm okay. After that, things were good. I met a guy and he was really, really great. It was a wonderful short season. We actually broke up about a month ago, and thankfully I don't remember much of the relationship. I call that God, because it definitely was not me. And like, we're still friends. We have to see each other every week because we both serve on the same worship team, and I mean, we're still friends. We don't talk every day, obviously, because that's just too hard and it gets my mind in the wrong mind state or mindset. So obviously there's boundaries put in place, but with that relationship, eating got a lot easier. And so because of that, I gained like 10, maybe 15 pounds. And before I met him, I'd already gained like 10 pounds. So total, since moving to Atlanta, I've gained about 20 pounds. I'm at a better, weight per se, I guess, for like my height. I'm not like scaring everybody with how I look anymore, which is a little relieving, I guess, on their part. Taking some getting used to on my end, but I feel a lot better. However, last week I had a gigantic relapse and started doing things that I hadn't done in years. Like, I'm talking multi-day fasting, and I'm talking like, well, I didn't really lie about my intake because eventually someone asked and I told them. But main thing was just not eating. And so I'm sorry, I'm just gonna go and forewarn you, this might get triggering. I didn't eat for 2.5 days, and the most I had ever gone without eating was like 6.5, 7, I think. And so on that third day, I kind of freaked out because I knew that the next day I had to go to work, and I was just like, well, crap. So we have an order that I have to put away, and it's going to be mainly me putting it away because my coworker has to receive it. And if that's the case, then I'm slinging 30 pounds of dog food by myself, essentially, and I'm scared I'm going to pass out at work. So like, I need to break this fast. Like, I don't know what to do. So I called one of my really good friends that I've met recently, and she lives in Charlotte. And she's like super involved with eating disorders. She's been through treatment herself, I don't know how many times, but she's been through that process, and she's currently like leading a support group for it, and like, she's been a rock star, and she's been really good at giving me like good level-headed advice while also understanding where I'm at. And so I called her that morning. I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I told her what was going on, and she just told me, you know, girl, you got to call your therapist first off, and you need to let her know what's going on. And second off, I mean, I know it's going to mean nothing when I say it, but you need to eat. And so we talked a little bit, and then I called my therapist, and I originally called to see if she had any like open appointments or availability that day, like if there was any cancellations, and she said no. And I was like, okay, well, I like really need some support right now. And so she called me on her lunch break, and she said, what's up? Like, what's going on? Are you safe? And I said, so there's not a gun to my head or anything, but eating's been really, really hard recently. And so she said, okay, well, what about it? And I said, well, it's been, you know, this long since I've eaten, and I'm just freaking out. Like, I don't know how to break it. And it's like someone just flipped a switch in my brain, and they broke it, and I don't know how to turn it off, and it's terrifying. And she said, okay, well, you have to go get assessed. And I said, okay, well, what do you mean assessed? Like, assessed for what? And she said, you need to get assessed for treatment. And I know, like, on my channel, I've been like kind of talking about this for years, and like the possibility of going and what that it could entail for me. And she called me, sorry, friends are texting me, checking on me, making sure I'm okay. So she told me that essentially either I go to treatment or we're done, because it's been pretty much a year of me being good and then me not being so great and then me being good and then me being not so great. And so she's just really concerned that something's gonna happen to me on her watch, and that's the last thing that she wants. And I totally understand that. Like, I'm a liability, I get it. But I'm, for the first time, kind of being told I have to go to treatment. And that in itself, let me tell you how fucking terrifying that is. Excuse my language, because I know that some of my church friends watch this at home, and but when you're told you have to do something that, granted, you've kind of come to terms with, it's really, really scary, and it's really, really just, it's a lot. So I went to the assessment today. It's actually, the place is right there, that's the place. So I went to that today, and they told me that they wanted me to be in a PHP program, which, if you don't know, that's a partial hospitalization program, where essentially it's like a full-time job. Your recovery is pretty much a full-time job. And so you would be there like 4 to 6 days out of the week, and it would be like 8, 9, 10-hour days there. And so I was just like, look, I have a full-time job, I have full-time school, I can't just sit here and drop everything for this stupid disorder again. Because I mean, the first time, I just kind of feel like everyone dropped me, and that was probably because I just really, really vented a lot to a lot of my friends that I was really close with. And if you're watching, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put all that on you. Looking back now in hindsight, that was probably too much for anyone to handle. And I'm a talker, and it's just in my nature, I just gotta talk and get it out. And I was seeking my, I guess, bill of health, and other people, I wanted other people to tell me that I was okay and that I didn't need anything that was being suggested, is what I'm thinking was the issue with me, like, saying everything to all of my friends. Well, not all of them, but like the ones that I was really close with and that I was like really, really people that I really trusted. And I kind of feel like it ruined one of my great friendships with one of my best guy friends, and I hate that, because I miss my best friend so much. But my eating disorder kind of ruined that. It ruined my relationship with a really great guy, and I mean, we would probably be engaged right now if I hadn't ended things out of the blue, or at least like tried to work on things with him. We could potentially be engaged. But at the same time, I didn't want to drag him down with me, so that was what it was. And so now this time it's just like, I don't want to see me lose all my friends again, and you're also talking about me potentially losing a job and potentially losing my college. Like, that's too much. I can't just sacrifice all of that at once for my health. Like, I feel like I'm fine, but everyone's telling me I'm not. And this time everyone, like my parents even, are on board with like treatment. Like, they're not fighting me. Like, not that they were really fighting me to begin with, but they just didn't really understand it the first time. So I'm just gonna kind of set that as just like ignorance on their part, like not in a negative way. Just, I mean, eating disorders are a lot, and they're very weird, and they just intermingle into like weird parts of your body, and you don't know how to explain it and how to make someone else understand what an eating disorder really is and what all it entails, unless that person is either trained in it or they're like physically, they've been through it. And I don't recommend the latter. But long story short, I'm going to treatment, and I'm really terrified, really kind of pissed off at myself, because I let things get this bad again. I think I don't really know how it all happened this time, but it's just been really fast. It's been really, really fast. But yeah, so I'm going to treatment. Terrified. I'm at peace with it though. And I guess we'll see what comes out of it. And hopefully I come out on the other end less messed up than I am right now. And I'm also just really hoping that I can do it and not have to like lose anything and not feel the need to leave early and potentially lose my therapist, which I really enjoy seeing her. She's really, really great. But I mean, like, I don't want to lose someone that like I already trust, and just I don't know how to explain it. But I mean, I guess if you've been there, you understand it and you get like what I'm trying to say. That's the update that you've all been asking for. I wish it was better news. I wish I could tell you that life's been going great, and I wish I could tell you that I'm recovered, and I wish that I could tell you that like I'm graduating college soon, but that's not my reality, and that's okay. Yeah, so there will probably be update videos, potentially on a weekly basis, just because this is super therapeutic for me, and I might have to drop more classes than what I would like. So this will be good. This will give me something productive to do, give me something to engage in. So yeah, I hope that you all are doing well. I really missed you guys, and I'm glad to be back. I hate that I'm back on these circumstances, but at least I get to connect with you guys again, and I'm excited to see where at the end of this journey I am. So I'm trying to keep it semi-positive, which is not my forte at all. I want to just cuss and fuss and throw my phone at this fence that's in front of me, but I've already broken my phone so much more than I would really like to admit right now. So yeah, I have to just actually be a sane human being for once and just deal with the situation that I have gotten myself into. But support anything that you guys want to put down in the comments. I highly appreciate it just in advance. So yeah, I will try to see you guys next week, and I hope that y'all have a great week. I don't know. That's just like that's the moral of my life. I don't know. So I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.